Hello everyone, very good afternoon. I am your educator Praveen Mishra and I welcome you all to this session, that is the Hindu analysis, date being 27th of May 2025. So we had a short break, yes, okay, with regard to the prelims examination, and now we are good to restart our sessions. So don't worry guys, we'll be having the regular sessions, okay, without any interruption, okay, and here we go, okay. So don't worry, just relax. Let's start with the topics. The headlines important from the perspective or from the context of our examination, okay, that is specifically, yes, pre-mains interview, in general. So what are the top headlines? The first ever headline, as yes, the monsoon has hit the the southern belt of our country, okay, and it has arrived a bit early for the first time since last 35 years, as per the records or the statements given by the Indian Meteorological Department. The Maharashtra coast has been touched by the monsoon around 4 to 5 days prior to the date. This has happened for the very first time in last 35 years. And now here we have got some other incidences. As you can see, that how this early showers, they have provided good rainfall to the southern belt and also has provided some impact over the northern areas, right? As we have seen that how recently air flight, basically an airplane from Delhi to Srinagar was going on and how badly it got impacted because of the turbulence and the nose of the plane broke off. Okay, so the weather conditions, means like dust storms and apart from that, some hails, etc. They have been, early for such time period. As of now, we talk about 2025, and the reasons we know it very well, that obviously the impact on the climate, the negative impact on the climate from global warming to other pollutants that we are facing. So for which we need some extraordinary level of the equipments or machineries that can provide us some accurate amount of forecast, and for which we have got here, okay, that is the Bharat forecast system, as you are watching on your screens. Okay, so this is the news first of all, okay, that is with regard to the Bharat forecast system. Okay, so we have to discuss two things: the Bharat forecast system and the another one that is known as the Doppler satellite. Okay, so the two radars, okay, the 2 points of discussion, that is the first one will be with regard to the Bharat forecast system and the other one will be the Doppler radar, not satellite, sorry, the Doppler radar. Okay, so what is the news? Okay, you don't have to read the whole news, don't worry, but yes, with regard to Bharat satellite or the Bharat forecast system. Okay, so precision technology, as in simply it can provide us more accurate level of information. So let's talk about the features. So the BFS, that is the Bharat forecast system, which has been developed totally indigenously. Remember, totally indigenously it has been developed by whom? By the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. So guys, first thing that you must note, and don't worry, okay, we will share this PDF, okay, we'll share this particular file on my Instagram and my Telegram channel, okay, so which you might have already joined. In case you haven't joined, wait, okay, at the last I will just share the Telegram channel and the Instagram channel name, right? So what is the name? Bharat forecast system, okay, and what is this Bharat forecast system? Obviously going ahead with the prediction of the weather, and yes, who has developed it? So totally indigenously developed equipment it is, developed by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. Okay, what is the aim? Obviously the aim is clear: improving weather forecast. Okay, providing the improved or upgraded level of the weather forecast. And now the next thing, existing forecast model. When you talk about the existing forecast model, okay, how better it is? So it uses square grids of up to 12 kilometer sides. Okay, 12 kilometers up down. Then use equal sized grids to map regions. And yes, able to give block level forecasts 5 days ahead. So guys, remember, it is able to provide the village block level forecast 5 days prior. So today on 27th of May, I can tell that by 1st of June or by 2nd of June, basically, what will be the forecast, what will be the weather, whether it will be raining, whether it will be, a hot sunny day, humid, or maybe some storms or something like that, lightning or something like that. I can provide these type of information, that is totally weather related information, in 5 days prior notice. Okay, not just at the block level, but yes, I can also provide it to the panchayat level, that is to the village level as well. Okay, so guys, remember what is this Bharat forecast system is capable of. Okay, this Bharat forecast system is capable of providing, okay, the 5 days prior forecast at the block level and now at the panchayat, that is accurately at the village level as well. Right, so this is what the importance of the Bharat forecast system. And now talking about the features. Okay, so first of all, as we already discussed, totally indigenously built by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. Right, now it is deterministic model, meaning it provides a single model based output, unlike ensemble models which gives multiple outputs. No, it will provide the accurate information, single level information all at once. Okay, so remember guys, it is providing what? One single information, not like variation of information that it could rain, it could be sunny, it could be humid, it could be anything else, right? No, it is providing the accurate level of information, that is one line of information. What are the days? How many days of the gap? 5 days prior. Okay, and apart from that, at the block level, yes. At the village level, that is at the panchayat level, yes. So it is at the panchayat and at the village level areas, it can provide us the accurate information 5 days prior. So that is what the Bharat forecast system. And now the next thing, the specifications. So existing model, it is 12 into 12 kilometer, as in it covers 144 square kilometer per forecast unit. Okay, so literally what is the area of coverage? So area of coverage is 144 square kilometer. Okay, next, BFS can provide 6 kilometer resolution forecast for the tropical region. Tropical region, that means that falls between 30 degrees south and 30 degrees north latitudes. So if it is a tropical region, right, so it can provide an accurate information up to 6 kilometers. Okay, but for non-tropical region, it can cover an area up to 12 into 12, basically 144, okay, square kilometer it can. So remember guys, this is what the Bharat forecast system is capable of. And now the next thing that has been into the news as well, that is the Doppler weather radar. How do I define this one? That is the Doppler weather radar. Okay, so it is a specialized radar that uses the Doppler effect. Okay, it is a specialized radar that uses what? The Doppler effect to produce velocity data about objects at a distance. Okay, that produce what? The velocity data about objects at a distance. So these radar system can provide information regarding the movement of targets as well as their position. So it can be also useful in our military, as you can see. So the Bharat forecast system uses a radar. What is the name of the radar? The Doppler weather radar, right? Okay, so I hope everything is going fine, right? So as I can see the comments, all clear? Right, okay. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. So let's go, right? So Bharat forecast system, which is the radar being used, it is the radar that is known as the Doppler weather radar. Okay. Now, what is the Doppler effect? As it is written here, but let me just cover it. Okay. Let's have this in our homework. Okay, so after class, into the comment section, just please have a basic research. What is Doppler effect? And let me know what is your answer into the comment section, and surely I'm going to consider each and every comment. But yes, only if you provide the comment, only if you do the homework. So it is written here, basic science, but yes, the fact is I request you guys, okay, to have some basic research. Right, so quickly, just post class, have a basic research on Doppler effect, okay, a scientific term, and let us know what is Doppler effect into the comment section. Right, so here we go. Move on to the next topic, the next headline for the day. The Bangladesh army at odds with government on Myanmar border or the Myanmar corridor. Armed forces will not compromise on issues related to the corridor, national security and national sovereignty, says the army spokesperson. Okay, now the idiot Bangladeshi army, I'll call them idiots only. Okay, fools, illiterate person. Okay, don't know, somehow they have worn this uniform. Okay, and this uniform is itself now is getting abused because these Bangladeshis are wearing them. Okay, without any knowledge, without any particular experience into the field of military. These people, those who must have got vanished if the Indian Army, Indian Navy, Indian Air Force wouldn't have interrupted into the era of 1971. What happened? March 1971, Pakistani Army launched Operation Searchlight. And with that Operation Searchlight, the mass genocide, that is mass killing basically, of the Bangladeshi people, that is the East Pakistani people, started. Thankfully, it was Indian Army, Navy and Air Force, that is the tri-services of our country, that supported the Mukti Bahini, that is the organization there in Bangladesh, the East Pakistan then, which was demanding for their fundamental rights as well as the freedoms. So the Navy stepped in between, Army, Air Force stepped in between and made the East Pakistan independent of West, that is now the independent country of Bangladesh. Ultimately, 5.5 decades later, what has happened? These Bangladeshi people, the government, etc., army, etc., they have now started talking against India. Now, obviously, they are being feeded by Pakistan and China. Well, how will Pakistan feed? Not a possible thing. Pakistan is itself starving. So, they are being feeded by whom? They are being feeded by the one property, the one particular angle, that is China. Right. So, China is feeding Pakistan, China is feeding Bangladesh now. Once again, the only reason for the China to do this is to curb India from both the angles. From the western angles, that is Pakistan, and from the northeastern or the Bay of Bengal region, it will be Bangladesh. Right. But ultimately, the hostile intentions won't be successful, because right now, what we have been watching, that yes, even after Pakistan's strikes, okay, Operation Sindoor comes forward, and apart from that, it is a message, clear-cut, straightforward message that we are a step ahead from military, from economy, from every corner. And yes, for not so good news for you, dear Bangladesh, Pakistan, or even China, Indian economy has now become the 5th largest economy of this globe, with $4.187 trillion of the economy. Okay, we have surpassed Japan just 48 hours back. Though with not huge amount of difference. Okay, yes, the Japanese economy is $4.186 trillion and we are $4.187 trillion, but still we are far ahead. Okay, we are performing far better, at least from Pakistan, which is not even into top 20. Right. So what these Bangladeshi, this government and the militants, they have been speaking. So at the border of Myanmar, they are not allowing any Myanmar, okay, or any particular refugee or a particular person to cross the border, and they have even asked the Myanmar government or even the Bangladeshi government, their army has asked that we are not going to have any compromise on the corridors. The borders will be closed and there will be no such discussion and any such type of delegation with Myanmar. They're having the problem with the Rakhine state, where there were Rohingyas living. Rohingyas, they have now crossed Bangladesh, and from crossing Bangladesh, they have also now entered India. And India has provided them not accurately the asylum, but yes, we have provided them the space to live. And now, which is a big headache, a big trouble for our internal security and sovereignty. So this is what Bangladesh has been watching as well, and it has now made its stand clear. Bangladeshi army has made its stand clear that we are not in any mood, literally not in any mood of having any sort of a compromise, any sort of type of tits and bits should be there, any type of a movement should be there over the corridor, over the border areas of Bangladesh and Myanmar. This is the threat, okay, what the army has been facing, as the huge the influx of the refugees or the migrants from the Myanmar region would trouble the Bangladesh, right? Obviously. So you think about how Indian government, Indian exchequer, Indian economy would be dealing with millions and millions of Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Afghani, Sri Lankan, Nepali, Tibetan refugees. Okay, not exactly Nepali, but yes, Tibetan, Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Sri Lankan, Afghani. All of these 5 countries, militants, not militants, what we say, asylees, right? They have been in India. The migrants as well as illegal migrants, right? So when we are handling such a huge million of population, which is not even ours, Bangladeshi army has been troubled with a small thing. Okay, they are going to have a small thing, okay, some small influx of migrants, okay, and they got troubled in that. right? So no further statement that is to be given here, right? Okay, so here we go to the next one. Ukraine targeted in Russia's biggest drone attack yet. Okay, Ukraine targeted where? In Russia's biggest drone attack yet. Okay, since 3 years. I don't know why this is happening. Since last 3 years, Russia-Ukraine war is going on. And since last 3 years, what we have been watching, that Ukraine has got devastated. And now, just the last night, what has happened? The biggest ever drone strikes has happened in Ukraine. And now, there is a twist that we need to understand. What happened exactly 10 days or let's say 2 weeks back, okay, was something which world was not ready for. Some 3 weeks back, China, okay, specifically China banned the exports of REEs, the exports of rare earth elements. Okay. Now, these REEs, these rare earth elements, which are very important specifically, okay, in electronics and electrical products. So, specifically, it is very, very important in EVs, that is simply electric vehicles. Right. Now, the hub of the EV production as of now is right China as well as America. Right, the hub of EV production right now. So America is not that rich in EV production. In REEs extraction. Okay, but China is. So China is sort of having monopoly over the REEs market. Right, and when China said that no, we are going to have a total ban on the exports of REEs, it troubled America. Well, it troubled Donald J. Trump. Right. Now, what has happened? Just 2 weeks back, America had a deal with Ukraine. Some $400 million, something like that, of the deal has been signed between America and Ukraine for the sake of what? REEs extraction. Okay, for the sake of what? REEs extraction from Ukraine soil. Ukraine. The deal is done by whom? By America. Right. So obviously, will Russia stay silent? Russia stayed silent because of the ongoing, the ceasefire. Okay, which was once again brokered as said by China, by America. Okay. See, the ceasefire between India and Pakistan was also not brokered by America. It was not America, that came into between and asked the Indian Prime Minister and the counterpart in Pakistan and said, bro, you guys are fighting, don't fight. No. It was America which was sided with Pakistan now. Okay. And India, we had a ceasefire just because we knew. Okay, it was not on the respect or on the words or on the pressure of America. Absolutely not. Don't have this misconception that India signed the ceasefire because of the pressure and mediation from America. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Utter nonsense. The most biggest lie ever in the year 2025 yet. That Donald Trump and America basically, they brokered the deal between India and Pakistan and had the ceasefire after Operation Sindoor and so on. Right? Absolutely not. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. The reality is, okay, after the Kirana Hills, okay, after the nuclear leak from Kirana Hills, it was America which got literally troubled. Because if Pakistan is devastated, if there is any nuclear war, if there is any nuclear leak, okay, it will disturb the whole global supply chain. And when the global supply chain is going to interrupt it, that is the trade is going to be interrupted, the biggest trouble it will be to two countries, China as well as America. Right? Though they are $30 trillion and $19 trillion of economy, but still they are dependent heavily on the exports as well as imports within the whole globe. Right? So if there is any sort of a nuclear war going on, or a type of a nuclear spill or a nuclear leakage has gone, then ultimately the global market will shrink. And this global shrinking market will ultimately provide huge level of loss and deficits to the American as well as Chinese exchequers. Right? And so for that sake, after the incident of Kirana Hills, when we have seen that how the American ship, okay, American plane basically, which goes ahead with the reporting of the nuclear leakage, okay, has seen hovering over the Kirana Hills. And apart from that, EG-1916 aircraft, okay, which was also seen hovering the border areas or the airspace of Pakistan, and it has landed as well, which carried borons. Why? Suddenly, why Pakistan in the mid of the airstrikes had got the need of borons? What is boron? It captures the nuclear radiation. Okay, borons basically, it captures the nuclear radiation. Right? So, why so? Obviously, because the strike on Kirana Hills troubled America. That if Pakistan is gone, then American investment as well as Chinese investment as well as the their intention to have a hold of Middle East would get vanish, or they would be stepped back for a decade or a two or maybe more than that. Right? So that is why America came in between. Okay, and now it was the pressure of America to Pakistan to have the ceasefire. It was not a pressure to us. When Pakistan had a ceasefire, it was okay. Then the DGMOs met and they signed the ceasefire. Right? Okay. So here is the logic that now America wants to have his economy going smoothly. And for that, he needs some raw materials. And one such raw materials, they are REEs. So when America signed a deal with Ukraine for the extraction of REEs, so it's crystal clear that America, Russia will attack. For sure, Russia will attack. It's 100% clear phenomena. So what you are watching this image, it is not an AI generated image. Okay, if you think it's a cartoon or an AI generated image, no, it is a fire at private enterprise facility following the Russian strike in Ukraine's Kharkiv region, right? So this is actually the reality. So now Russia has made a statement that you try to indulge America in any deal in Europe and Eurasian region, specifically the erstwhile USSR region, you will be, tasting some sour elements, some sour dishes. And Ukraine must understand that Ukraine is not going to win this war. This is what even American president has stated while he met Vladimir Zelensky, right? So even Trump stated this to Zelensky that your country is in trouble and you are not winning this. This is what the American president has stated to the Ukrainian president in the middle of the war. Right, and Ukrainian president must understand that America, relying or trusting America is the biggest mistake any country can do. Example is Vietnam, example is Pakistan, example is Afghanistan, example is many, the Latin American nations, including the Caribbean. Why do you think Canada is not willing itself to induce, with America, to get inducted with America as its 51st state? America, Canada, bye-bye, like like brothers. But still, Canada knows this thing very well, that till the time Canada is sovereign and independent, okay, and having no such direct legislative or executive relations with America, Canadian people, they will be saved. But the moment Canada induces itself or inducts itself as the 51st state or whatsoever state of America, it will be the end of Canada globally. Right? This is what American history has told. This is what America is famous for, is famous infamously, right? That it grabs the territory, it grabs the land, and then ultimately it occupies everything there and ends the local or the native business, etc., etc. Right? So Canada is absolutely aware of that. This is what Ukraine must be understanding as well, that the moment they decided to join NATO, what Russia said, wait, come here. Haven't you seen Crimea? What we did for Crimea, what we did in Crimea in 2014? Are you really dumb? You don't understand? Then you know what Ukraine is facing right now is nothing but a conspiracy. Okay, conspiracy is what? Whenever America will intervene in Europe, okay, Russia will counter. For sure, Russia will counter. And if Ukraine doesn't want this, no, I'm not justifying the war. I'm just telling the facts. Okay, if Ukraine wants, if it doesn't want this, okay, then Ukraine needs to have this statement that, okay, Russia, we won't have England or we won't have America or its satellite states or any allied partners inside the borders of Europe. This is what the statement is, right? So this is the biggest ever drone strike. The moment the ceasefire has ended, this is the biggest ever drone strike since last 2.5 years. That is since the time the Russia-Ukraine war started, right? So here we go to the next news, to the next topic for the day. So all clear, able to understand everything, right? So I can't see any further doubts into the comments. So the next topic for the day, High Courts not to interfere with inquiry into mismanagement of temples properties. If High Courts are not going to intervene, then who is going to? Okay. So what is the whole news? Let's understand. It's about the temple. Okay. So the Madras High Court, that is in Tamil Nadu, has refused to interfere with a show cause notice issued by Tamil Nadu's Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowment (HR&CE) department, seeking an explanation from Srila Sri Satya Math, okay, Srila Sri Satya Math, regarding the alleged mismanagement of properties belonging to two kattalais of the ancient Tyagaraja Swami temple in Tiruvarur. Okay. So now the facts with this news. See, Madras High Court has refused to intervene as of now. This is not the news for us. The facts, the features from this particular news is to be discussed. So the first word that you are watching here is kattalai. Kattalai as in properties. Properties or endowments which are basically handled by third parties. Okay. So let's say what is the whole statement that we need to understand. Let's say this is a piece of property which belongs to the temple. Okay. So there is a temple and there are trustees to the temple. So temple is the first party, trustees, they are the second party. And this particular property is what in the native language, it is known as kattalai. Okay. So, kattalai is what? The property belonging to the temple only. Okay. But it is handled or managed, not owned, remember. It is handled or managed by any third party. It could be government, state-owned organization, it could be private, it could be any person but third party. So, that is why it is known as kattalai. Okay. So, what is kattalai now? Okay, in Tamil Nadu region, when it comes to specifically the Tyagaraja temple, Tyagaraja Swami temple in Tiruvarur, okay, remember, kattalai is the term, and what is this kattalai? The property of the temple which is owned by, or not owned, sorry, which is managed by what? A third party. That is what? Kattalai. And next comes here from the same news, that is the temple chariot, as in Azi Ther. Okay, so the judge, okay, that is Madras High Court, pointed out that the Thiruvar Tyagaraja Swami temple had a rich history and the Azi Ther, that is the temple chariot, was the largest in South India. Okay, which is a very peculiar feature of the temple. Okay, so guys, remember, we have got the largest chariot of the temple. As you can see, it is known as Azi Ther. So the biggest chariot of any South Indian temple. Remember guys, it is not the Kailasha, not the Chidambaram temple or not any other, or the Lingaraja temple. It is what? The Tyagaraja Swami temple, Tiruvarur. Okay, it is having the biggest temple chariot. It is named as what? Azi Ther. Azi Ther what? Temple chariot. Okay. So I hope it is clear. So kattalai and Azi Ther, the two terms. Now, moving on to the next news. 9 containers from sunken ship wash ashore. So, today morning 9 a.m. on the very same channel, that is the StudyIQ IC English, we had a session, okay, which is about the ship, the Liberian ship, which was coming to the coast of Kerala near the Kochi, and unfortunately, okay, because of some misfortune, obviously, it sunk. And 24 crew members, they have been saved. And apart from that, it was having some nearly 640 cargo containers. So the 640 cargo containers was not absolutely the point of concern. The point of concern is the 13 cargo containers which were having the hazardous elements inside them. And the hazardous elements, basically, we talk about the problem the 640 cargoes, okay, having 13 containers in them out of those 640, in which was kept CaC2, that is carbon carbide, and the furnace oil. Okay. So we discussed this in the morning 9 a.m. session itself, right? So carbon carbide, what it is? CaC2, and it is also known as, okay, also known as masala. Yes, guys, that's correct. Also known as masala. Furnace oil, also known as fuel oil. Okay, furnace oil, also known as fuel oil. Okay, very dark and very, very viscous as well. That is high density. Okay, so this furnace oil, basically, okay, it is also known as, it is, the residual element or the residuary part after the distillation or the refining of crude oil. So whatever is left after the refining of the crude oil, it is known as the furnace oil, also known as the fuel oil. Now we talk about the carbon carbide. Okay, so it is having also name masala, and it releases a particular acid known as acetylene acid or acetylene gas, basically. Okay, which is used to ripening of the fruits like mangoes, apples, grapes, bananas, whatever. Okay, in order to rip off those fruits, okay, this acetylene gas is used, which is extracted from CaC2, that is carbon carbide. Okay, now remember, guys, this is something like furnace oil. Okay, talk about the furnace oil, which some releases to huge amount of phosphorus. Okay, ultimately dangerous for the environment and ecology, and this is something which is also the result of acid rain, which is also the reason for acid rain. So in out of those 640 containers in that ship, Liberian ship, okay, 13 of them, they were having furnace oil and the CaC2, that is carbon carbide. Okay, calcium carbide, sorry, not carbon carbide. Okay, it is calcium carbide, right? So now, so far, no oil spill was, encountered. No such thing was happening. Okay, and Indian Navy as well as Indian Coast Guard, they have taken the very cognizant and very impromptu and very fast action in order to curb any sort of ecological disaster, any type of negative ecological impact because of such thing. Okay, so remember, guys, as of now, thankfully, okay, all thanks to the God, that no such casualty has been recorded as well. All the 24 members, all the 24 crew members on board into that ship, they have been saved successfully. And apart from that, yet no such news for oil spill or any sort of hazardous incidents has been recorded. And thankfully, our braveheart soldiers from the Navy and Coast Guard, they are active there, and they shall be eliminating such type of an issues in a very quick succession of time. Right? So this is it with this news. Now moving on to the next news for the day. Governor travels 7 kilometers by helicopter as protests continue in Manipur. So with Shubham Sagar sir, you have done a session, okay, that is known as the Festival of Shri Ili, right? So Shri Ili or Shri Lili, there are some other pronunciations, floating over, but exact pronunciation Shri Ili, right? So you have saw that session, okay, that how a very wonderful festival is celebrated in our parts of Northeast. Okay, so after that festival, a particular controversy happened. Okay, and we are not going to discuss that controversy, but the governor, okay, governor of the state of Manipur, has landed himself in some controversy after that. Okay, so what do we know? Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla. Okay, we talk about. Okay, we talk about the name Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla. Okay, he has been asked by the residents of Manipur to have an apology, okay, to the people of Manipur. So the coordination committee of Manipur, okay, which is having the Metis community people inside them, okay, they have now launched a protest against the governor Raj Kumar Bhalla, and now the governor was compelled to reach his office, okay, from the airport, not by road, but by helicopter, just a 7 kilometer of the distance, because the whole area was blocked by the people. Okay, see the demand of the people, whether they are having a right demand, whether they are having not the right demand, or whether the governor was right, whether the governor should provide his apology or not, that is a huge level of debate. And it's not even a type of a debate that a UPSC aspirant should go ahead with. Okay, it's a debate which is having no logical existence for you as a UPSC CSE aspirant. Okay, yes, it's a political and social issue, but as of now, I will ask every one of my student that please refrain from having such type of debates, as they are having no such real life logic or validity for you to have any sort of discussion, right? So please refrain from these political debates. Okay, and yes, if the governor will provide the apology, then it shall be the further point of discussion for us. Okay, but as of now, till the time it is a particular controversy, so let the controversy remain the controversy only. Okay, here we have to talk about the aspect of President's rule. So since 13th February onwards, when the Chief Minister Biren Singh resigned, okay, President imposed the President's rule there under Article 356 of the Indian Constitution. We know very well that how many articles deal with the President's rule. So in case we don't, so let's have a short discussion over it. Okay, so basically President's rule, okay, in India, as per the Indian Constitution, okay, President's rule. So it is also known as with some other name. Like for example, it is named as constitutional emergency. Constitutional emergency. It is also known as state emergency. Okay. So constitutional emergency or state emergency, these are the two names along with the President's rule. So President's rule basically Article 356 and Article 365. Article 356 as in when the constitutional machinery, has failed to perform in the state, or has simply failed in any state. Or next comes Article 365. When the states fail to comply with the directions given by the center. Okay, so this time it was Article 356 which was used by the Honorable President, okay, to impose the President's rule in Manipur. Manipur, as we have discussed a number of times, that it has been burning since last almost 2.5 years plus, but still unfortunately till date we are unsuccessful in establishing the peace and normalcy back into the region. But yes, it's not like that we are not working over it. The central as well as the state governments as well as the other agencies involved are working over it for sure, and very soon they shall be providing us with accurate information as well as the restoration of peace and normalcy, including tranquility in the region. Okay, so it's a matter of time. We will have to wait. We don't know how much time we will have to wait. So it has been now almost more than 2.5 years, around 3 years you can say, since the Kuki and Métis community, they have been indulged in a type of a civil war. Not exactly a civil war, but a type of a civil war, that is internal tensions, riots and clashes. They have been marked. Many people, they have lost their lives, livelihood, properties, etc. And yes, let's hope for the best and let's have a trust on the government agencies as well as the government machineries. They are working, they are surely working over it, okay, to resolve the issues in a way that is, providing the long-term impact. Providing a short-term resolution is not a big deal. Even the state, even the local administration is capable. The local officers, in fact, the IS, IPS officers, the revenue officers, in fact, all of them, those who are posted in any area, they are capable to provide a short-term resolution, a short-term solution. But the problem is, Manipur, the state of Manipur, doesn't need a short-term issue, the short-term this problem solving or the short-term rectification of any particular issue. What is needed is the long-term solving of the problem, so that no such particular thing happens further in the near future, which shall obviously, trouble the whole state, the growth and development of the people, the growth and development, the social infrastructure, the physical infrastructure, everything. Ultimately, that troubles the whole of the growth and development of the whole country. If one state of is not performing well or is undergoing any such issues, then that state's data is also troubling the data of the other states, that is the country as a whole. So obviously, anywhere if there is a crisis, anywhere if there is a riots or clashes or any type of a civil war, okay, then it is my prime responsibility, being the state or being the central government. So the problem is, a short-term resolution is not going to provide much impact. So what do we need is a long-term resolution, a long-term solution basically, right? So long-term solution needs a long-term of the delegation as well as the proper research and analysis. So let's wait, okay? We shall be having the proper solution in a very quick succession of time, hopefully now, right? So coming to the next point here, the next news. Supreme Court Collegium recommends 3 judges to top courts. Now, a Collegium of Supreme Court judges, okay, right? So let's discuss firstly about the appointment of judges. So presently, what is the news? Okay, if you see the news again here, so this is the news, that is Supreme Court Collegium recommends 3 judges to top court, that is to the Supreme Court. Okay, so we have got Justice Vijay Vishnoi, N.V. Anjaria and A.S. Chandurkar. Okay, so these are the 3 names that are to be, maybe these are the names, okay, which could be now, not could be, now it is all clear. Okay, these are the 3 fresh judges that are to be inducted inside Supreme Court. Okay, so as per the constitution, we have got the fixed number of judges. Okay, so as of now, presently, Supreme Court comprises 34 judges, as in 33 judges plus Chief Justice of India. So in total, it becomes 34. So we consider it as what? 33 plus 1. Right. Now, how are the judges appointed? So the judges, they are appointed by the president. So you can just write, judges are all appointed by the president on the advice of a collegium. Okay, and the collegium comprises of 4 senior most judges. Judges of where? Of Supreme Court only. Plus the Chief Justice of India. Okay, the Chief Justice of India. So remember, all of these 4 plus 1, that is the Collegium, will provide the recommendations to whom? To the President. Okay, so they will provide a recommendation letter to the President with the names mentioned it. Okay, and president is bound to sign those names, right? So presently, how many judges are there? Okay, total strength is 34. But just recently, Sanjeev Khanna, okay, the judge, and Justice Oka, they both retired, okay, and now the membership has reduced to 32 and okay, 31 basically. So three more judges, okay, they are to be needed, right? So the names they have been recommended. So guys, remember, and this is a provision, okay, remember, this is a provision which is followed by the Supreme Court, okay, since 1998. This is the provision that came out or evolved through the third judge's case. Okay, the third judge's case of 1998. Guys, remember, so far we have got four judges case, okay. The first judge's case happened in the year 1982, where Supreme Court stated advice of CJI is not binding on precedent. Then came the second judge's case. (1993). Okay. So what Supreme Court stated here? That advice of CJI plus two senior most judges of Supreme Court shall be binding. Okay, binding on whom? Obviously on precedent. Then came the third judge's case. Okay, finally, the third judge's case. When it happened? 1998. Okay, so the advice of CJI plus four senior most judges. Four senior most judges of Supreme Court shall be binding on precedent. So we are presently following what? The judgment of the third judge's case 1998. Remember, it happened one more time that it was the fourth judge's case. Okay, fourth judge's case 2014. Okay, Parliament at that time enacted the 99th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, that is popularly known as NJAC, National Judicial Appointment Commission. Okay, inserted Article 184 capital A for the appointment of judges, which was considered unconstitutional by Supreme Court. Totally unconstitutional, as on the grounds of what? Okay, Supreme Court stated that this troubles the independence of Supreme Court. Independence of Supreme Court, which is also a basic structure. Which is also what? The basic structure. Right? So this is what was mentioned by Supreme Court in the judgment. Okay? Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. Right? So I hope this is all clear. So this is whole judgment as well. Okay, this is whole news as well. So these three judges will be soon taking oath of the what? Supreme Court, right? So next, OPEC plus grouping expected to open taps more despite price slump. So what is the fact we need to discuss? Well, the prices will rise, will not rise, etc., etc. No, this is not our point of discussion. Our point of discussion is OPEC. What are the features to this? That is OPEC. So as we can see, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. In short, OPEC, a permanent intergovernmental body created after the Baghdad Conference in 1960. Okay, created when? After the Baghdad Conference in 1960. And yes, the most important feature, by Iran, the founding members, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela. So how many founding members were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These were the founding members. Headquartered where? In Vienna. Remember, headquartered in Vienna, that is Austria. Found when? Found in the year 1960 after the Baghdad Conference. Right? And now, please remember the OPEC members. The membership is open to any country that is having the substantial export of oil, okay, and having the substantial share of crude oil over its soil, right? So OPEC, this is what made when? 1960. Which conference? Baghdad Conference. Founding member Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela. So these are the founding members. Now talking about OPEC plus. So who are the OPEC plus members? So 10 plus members are here, okay, when it comes to OPEC. So they are Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Brunei, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Mexico, Oman, Russia, Sudan, and South Sudan. Okay, remember it is Sudan also, right? So these are the members. Presently, these are the members of OPEC plus. Okay, so we have got two groupings, OPEC and OPEC plus, right? So the OPEC plus members are here in front of you. Okay, guys, so this is around the OPEC. Thank you so much, guys, for today. Okay, this is all with regard to today's news. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you have got too much of the value addition and the knowledge addition as well. And as I stated, please, guys, do not forget to subscribe to the StudyIQ English channel. You know it very well. Morning to evening, the channel is providing you all type of quality and the quantity that is required for you to crack the UPSC CSE examination. And remember, okay, for any such discussion with me, any such doubts, if you have, you want me to address your doubts, so we can connect on two platforms. On Instagram, you can search me with the username Praveen Mishra _2107. And on Telegram, you can join my channel that is named as study_with_Praveen. Okay, so guys, for all the PDFs and other material, okay, you can connect with me on Telegram. Okay, so here I will share all the class PDFs, whatever we have. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. But yes, remember, do not leave before hitting the subscribe button so that you never miss any update from the channel. So tomorrow onwards, 12 p.m. again, we shall be meeting daily for our The Hindu analysis. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. See you soon. Bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind.